Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Kedwell. I'm a marketer, technologist, and employer brander. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you in person, but hopefully you'll find my video presentation useful. I want to talk with you today about talent avatars, how they can be used for talent management, and a little bit about the Noopsly platform that we use to create what we call a talent avatar ecosystem.
Let's dive right in and find out what our AI-powered talent avatars are and how we can consider them to be very useful in creating a communications ecosystem for talent management.
Everyone knows that video is extremely important in any communications exercise today. The amount of videos watched by the audiences we want to reach is increasing all the time, and video is now the primary medium we use to consume information.
Indeed, as Mitch Joel says, nothing sparks action like a good story, and video is the most powerful storytelling medium we have. And we want people to be informed and to take action when they watch the stories and messages we create as talent managers. So, video is great, it's consumed by a vast number of people every day, but it's really underutilized in the world of talent management. Of course, talent management professionals do use video for all kinds of purposes, but why isn't it used more? What's stopping talent managers from maximizing the use of video in their work? It's because it's difficult. Organizing and creating videos is time consuming and, well, painful, requiring a lot of skills that most talent managers don't have and budget they don't have. Even if you outsource video creation, the time commitment is still significant, especially getting your videographers up to speed with what is actually required, not to mention the cost of producing outsourced videos. And if you are using real staff in your footage, ensuring that you have the rights to their likenesses and then keeping track to see if they still work for the company can be onerous. And not everyone is going to be comfortable or natural in front of the camera either.
Every video is a significant project, so it's no wonder that most of the videos produced by talent managers are for special, specific purposes.
Video calls have become part of our everyday lives. Most people are comfortable with them both at work and at home. Ideally, we would use video calls much more often to speak with, for example, prospective candidates, to answer questions about the company and what it's like to work there, to discuss different benefit options, to talk with people about their vacation allowance, to make sure people are up to date with policy changes.
You've been there, right? There just isn't enough time to communicate one on one with the people who ideally you should. So you have to prioritize or just not do it at all, which isn't ideal for anybody.
The result is that we are missing opportunities for video simply because of lack of resources. Missing opportunities to use video as a vehicle for strategic communication, a means of conversational engagement, and as a way of human connection. Imagine the power of being able to automatically create videos and have interactive video conversations on demand and at scale. That's where our talent avatars come in, but what exactly are they? Talent avatars are your virtual spokespeople, animated by AI, and ready for any communication role in any language. They can have any face and voice you like to represent any role or demographic. Each face you see is generated by AI, and each talent avatar has their own voice and personality. They can be unique to you, and because they are all AI generated, there is no issue with managing image rights or making sure that a staff member is still with the company. Because talent avatar videos are automatically generated and are not handcrafted in the way that traditional video is, they can be used to communicate and engage with people at scale. Instead of creating just one video because it is difficult and expensive, talent avatars can be used to easily and cost effectively create many different videos all at once.
So let's now take a look at the ways we can use talent avatars and dig into how they work.
In our work, we have defined two broad use cases for talent avatars. The first use case is where we use automatically generated talent avatar videos to communicate with people in a one-to-many fashion. These are talent avatars starring in videos which can be placed wherever your target audiences watch videos. The second is for engagement, where truly interactive talent avatars can have knowledgeable conversations with people in a one-to-one scenario at scale.
Let's have a look at these use cases in a bit more detail.
Communication style talent avatars can be used in a variety of ways to disseminate information via generated videos. They can be configured to have a knowledge of your company in topic areas like policies, job openings, and onboarding processes. And using that knowledge, they can be deployed for all kinds of purposes, such as the examples listed here. The idea is to create an easily updatable portfolio of videos that can be used to communicate with and inform people in an easily consumable way. Engagement style talent avatars are different in that they are not one-way generated videos, but are conversational avatars which can be used anywhere you need to engage with individuals in a two-way manner. These can be used in parallel, having individual conversations with many people at once. The potential for these avatars is enormous, as you can imagine. We've listed some examples of the types of uses they can be put to here.
We can use talent avatars to communicate and engage at scale. Let's take a closer look at how they work and see a couple of examples.
In the middle here, we have a diagram of our talent avatar engine. We'll talk about that in a minute. On the left-hand side, we have an example of a talent avatar video. This one is going to be for recruitment advertising, a job ad video for an employer brand manager, which has been generated from a job description. On the right, we have an interactive talent avatar, which is going to interview us for the same job.
These are, of course, just examples, but I think they nicely illustrate the power of talent avatars. Let's take a look at the recruitment advertising video first. Remember, this was generated directly from a text job description.
Hello there. We have a fantastic opportunity for anyone creative and passionate about shaping a company's market presence. Ad Magic Media in London is seeking an employer brand manager to spearhead strategies that enhance their employer brand. This role is perfect for someone with a knack for storytelling and a strong understanding of the London job market. You'll collaborate with HR, marketing, and communications to craft engaging content and campaigns, both internally and externally. If you excel in creating compelling employee narratives and thrive in a dynamic environment, reach out to learn more about joining this exciting team.
Interesting, right? We find these videos to be much more engaging than plain text job descriptions. If a potential candidate sees the video and is intrigued by the role, they can click and read the full job description and apply. Now imagine that I've applied for the job, and let's take a short look at my interaction with a talent avatar who is interviewing me for the role.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for taking the time to chat today. I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and your experience. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Excited to dive into our conversation. To start off, can you tell me a bit about what attracted you to the employer brand manager position at Ad Magic Media Limited?
I've got a lot of experience in employer branding. Over the last 10 years, I've been developing my skills, and I think now I'm ready to take the next step.
That sounds great. It's impressive that you've spent a decade honing your skills in employer branding. Can you share a specific project or initiative you've worked on that you're particularly proud of?
It's cool, isn't it? We are at the very start of really seeing this kind of technology become prevalent in all kinds of scenarios. Note that both of these examples have been spoken in English, but talent avatars support all the most spoken languages, and many others too. Okay, so to finish off our introduction to our talent avatar ecosystem, let's take a closer look at the talent avatar engine and what each of the components in the diagram do, so you can see how everything is put together. The talent avatar engine is comprised of 4 different functional layers, so let's look at them in turn.
Let's start with the innermost layer, the foundational AI model. This is the large language model that underpins everything else and gives the talent avatars their ability to understand general concepts and language and allows them to have reasoning and conversation capabilities. The next layer is the company context. This is a continually updated repository of company information that allows talent avatars to have specific knowledge of your company, what it does, and how it does it. This doesn't have to be everything about your company, just the information that you want the talent avatars to know about. For example, in the quick demos we showed earlier, we would want the talent avatars to be familiar with the roles that are advertised and interviewed for, and enough information for the interactive avatar to be able to answer most questions about the job, the working environment of the company, and the teams that the roles relate to. How much information is included in the company context is up to you. Another important component of the company context are the guardrails. These limit what talent avatars can talk about. These are especially important in highly regulated environments, such as financial services, where only certain information can be imparted. These allow interactive talent avatars to know when it is time to refer a particular conversation to a real human. Next, we have the talent avatar animator. This is the layer that defines the faces, voices, and personalities of the talent avatars and brings them to life. This is a number of AIs combined, one for the avatar's faces, one for their voices, one for the personality and what they can say via the company context and foundational AI model, and one for the animation itself. And finally, on the outside, we have the talent avatar generator, which will either generate one-way avatar videos or animate an interactive conversation depending on what you ask it to do. So that's it, a bit of a whirlwind tour of our talent avatar engine. As you can see, we are able to create a talent avatar ecosystem using a single engine which brings together different layers of AI capabilities to create and animate the avatars.
I hope you found this overview of the talent avatar ecosystem informative. I'd love to chat with you about it in person if you think that talent avatars might be useful for your company. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at chris@noopsly.com. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and hopefully we will be able to meet in person in the future.